today's broadcast, but today's topic, guys, of the Carrie and Gordon Show from Boundaries and Brotherhood. But today's topic, and I'll give you the breakdown, is going to be your internal GPS and why it points to toxic men. Miss Fuller just had a retreat talking about all of this, but I don't want to steal her thunder. I'm Gordon Wat from Boundaries and Brotherhood. Give us what we're going to do, introduce yourself, and let us know what we'll be doing while I get us.
I'm Carrie Pullaro. I am a relationship and identity coach. I focus on helping high-achieving women stop chasing love, stop trying to earn love, and just own the fact that they are the prize in their life. And that attracts all the healthy men into your space. I think what I observed over the last couple of weeks.
Whatever happened to make this topic so relevant?
So I had been with some people that actively use dating apps. Now listen, I'm not a fan of dating apps, and that's just me personally. It doesn't mean that they're wrong. They work for certain people. I think I tried to get on the dating app a long time ago, and I was like, yeah, I just wasn't enrolled. I didn't like the vibe because I feel like it's a great way to hide who you really
You
are.
old school too.
I am old school, so I'd rather meet you in person. And it was really interesting, some of the things that I experienced and my friends were experiencing. And so just listening to a lot of the stories back in the day when like this, I'm talking about when dating apps first came out, like what was hot back then? Match, Plenty of Fish, like I'm talking like old school. Now dating apps are very, very different. And I noticed that as I was sitting with some of my friends and watching who was coming up on their feed, because it's an algorithm. Also, like you're choosing, you're entering in information of like who like supposedly matches with you, but then the system actually uses who you're choosing to start choosing for you, right? And so everything that whoever you're choosing tells me so much about where you're at. What are the things you're leading with? Like, are you leading
Interesting.
with looks only? Like, oh, this guy's hot. Let me match with him. And yeah, there was just a lot of different things that I was noticing because
Okay.
sometimes I know for my clients, they feel like they're driving around in circles when it comes to their love life. And it's like your GPS is just not programmed to get to a specific destination. It's programmed to just drive in circles and find chaos, right?
For what? At the same time, right? Don't women like chaos in a way?
I think I've observed, at least for myself, that chaos was a normal thing for me because that's what
Right.
I observed when I was growing up. So if I observed that growing up, I immediately think that's normal. So for example, I thought it was normal to be with a man who was like jealous and controlling and telling me what to do.
Oh,
I thought that meant love. That doesn't mean
right.
love. So yes, if I have these certain conditioning, like certain conditioning that says, hey, men who are jealous and controlling, like all of this is love, like that's not healthy, but I'm constantly gonna attract that emotionally unavailable man, right? And it becomes very confusing. And so yes, I think chaos is normal. So when I get into relationship with a healthy man who, when I get upset, is like, cool, let her go have her process, I might be like, well, what the hell? Like, why isn't he chasing me? Why isn't he following me? Why isn't he like showing any kind of energy? Thank God that I'm not attracting that type of partner anymore because that is not love. That's not healthy for someone to be chasing after you or confusing you or make you question your worth or tell you what to do. No one's job is to tell me what to do. It's my job.
Right. Women, guys, we'll take it from both sides, right? If women are still matching with you as a man and you're texting him what you doing, but you can't plan a date on its own, right? It's not the algorithm she pulls. It's your self-worth settings. It goes for both for guys and girls. Because a lot of the times, she might be trying to play you. She might be trying to do something with you. She's trying to do everything for you. But at the same time, it's just null and void. There's no action. What's your take on that? Because that kind of got me going. Because if not, the standards that you have that you put for yourself will also wobble and crumble.
Yeah, it's interesting just to observe the type of people that are on the dating app. And I talk about, oh my God, I gave everybody a name because these are the constant things that I was seeing come up over the course of a couple of weeks. It was like, text thread Tim, like, he wants to be your fucking pen pal. He doesn't want to make plans. He just keeps thinking that he can text you, but like, why are we on the app? We're on the app to go out on a date. So like, why are you writing me a novel? Like, I don't care about that. Why aren't we connecting? Why aren't we going out?
Okay.
And at the same time, why am I still entertaining him?
Is it for attention or just a need to kind of like just be wanted? Maybe.
Or is it because I think he's hot?
I mean, they can keep charging for that in the dating apps. I've never been on one. I don't even know what they are. Even when I came out of prison, I didn't even know what the hell there was. I was like, I want to go meet somebody.
Yeah, I'm the same way. But what am I leading with? I think that's the biggest question is, am I leading with looks? Am I leading with what they are interested in? And what are the things that are important to me? Like for me, it's almost like you get to fill out an application. Like I want to know certain things about you.
Talk an application. So the women that you had on this retreat with your friends and everything doing the dating apps, is it because you think they're trying to find true love, they're just trying to find companionship, or are they just lonely?
Well, no, I think they genuinely are ready for a relationship. I mean, of course, that's
Okay.
why they're getting on there. It is a stretch in a way because it's like I'm putting myself out there, right? If
Okay.
I'm guilty of being that person that's like stayed in my apartment and was like, I'm not going to go anywhere. I had it suggested to me multiple times. Why don't you get on a dating app? And I was like, an immediate hell no, I'm not doing that. And there was a lot of lack of trust within me in my ability to choose someone
I
who
just
was
about to say,
emotionally available because I had a pattern of attracting emotionally unavailable men. And so it was like, let me just remove myself completely from this situation because I am not good at choosing. And so let me dive into the work. But the problem with that was like, if I never get out there and practice and put myself out there, then I'm still faced with the same issue. Like I'm
correct.
still going to think I'm not good at choosing because I've never had the practice in getting out there and choosing. But I think the best thing that happened to me though was when I met Abel and we were forced to get to know each other over the phone. Like,
With all the fluff, like old school. Old school's
yeah,
like okay, talk on the phone, do this thing.
yeah,
Maybe you get rejected, expose with yourself, and not relying on this like catfishing, like fishing apps, and they do their thing, and it's a whole new game. But when the women find toxic men because of say their standards, their attraction, maybe they might be out of their league, but they're looking for something else, but they're not willing to sacrifice. What happens from a woman's point of view?
when the woman's not able to sacrifice.
Yeah. Because she has demands, she has standards. She like I seen on the show, social media has ruined the fact that women think they can get all of this attention and stuff like that, but it's false. It's not like being on the phone with them one-on-one.
Well, I think there's different types of energy. They're the entitled women that come out there and think they should get all the attention and think that they should be spoiled. 100%. Those women do
Right.
exist. There's no doubt in my mind. They absolutely exist. But then there's also women that have their shit together that are like, I want a partner that's going to contribute to me so that we can build and grow together. Like, I'll support you and you support me. There is a certain level of confidence that comes with that, where I know a lot of men get so pissed off that I say that, I'm the prize. They get offended by it. And the reason they get
You bring
offended,
it down too.
yeah. Oh my God, Gordon, I have to go to my front door with my ID. So give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. You keep talking.
We're gonna go do your thing. I'll just keep everybody. What's up, Van? What's up, Goya? What's up, Prance? Everybody. As you can see, my friend over there, Miss Carrie Pullaro, she's a dating coach. She used to be a feminist, a big time feminist, angry at the world, did everything like that you see on these things, but she learned to put in the work herself. And this is what she is doing with me, because at the same time, we're also, oh, and I got somebody else on. So what she's doing is she's giving a women's point of view that somebody has put in a lot of the work for herself. The feminist movement didn't apply to her, like the independence, the standards, and everything else. This is why she came so powerful. To me, my partner in crime, Miss Carrie right here, Miss Pullaro, she's putting so much work from the opposite of what she became. This is why she's better than most people that I know that have all these other degrees and stuff like that. Because she has real life sustainable actions that has worked for her to win the relationship lottery that she has with Abel. Like myself, I've basically won the lottery with my relationship with Andrew because a lot of the times you have to have these things, these mistakes.
I'm back. So we were having wine delivered and I had to go show my ID.
See, you know she's having a good look, but she's delivering wine to her front door. Damn it. Okay. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
This is so fun.
It is fun. One of the joys living close to Napa. It's awesome.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay, where were we? Where were we? My
we
mind
were
got
in-
distracted.
You were on the dating apps and how you and Abel was talking on the phone, how you got forced to get to know each other like old school versus the dating app.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't about the outside appearance, right? It wasn't about physical attraction. I didn't really remember very much about what he looked like. He didn't remember really what I looked like, but we just talked on the phone and got to know one another. And I think that was one of the most supportive things because it allowed me to see my pattern of always leading with physical attraction. What is going to be sustainable is are we compatible? Do we get along? Do we have the same values? Like there were so many different things that were important to me. Is he into personal development? Like that's a big thing that was always important to me.
Yeah.
Going to the gym, being healthy, eating well, like those are certain things that are important to me. So there was a lot of that. Like it just allowed me to see the things that were truly important to me and that physical attraction, yes, it's important, but it's not the number one value that I look for going into a relationship.
What do you tell women that's on this dating apps and you're coaching women and you've seen all these patterns, your old patterns basically? What do you suggest or tell these women that was their pattern behavior, that you already been down this road? If they're not loving yourself, if they're looking for outside validation, they don't have boundaries set up, so they start spiraling or getting emotional about a non-text. How do they set their standards? You're seeing these patterns, you're seeing the old you in these women, but how do you correct? Because what's the dream outcome? They don't want a relationship, they want company, but maybe the time is ticking or they're looking for other outcomes. What's your take?
That whole ticking thing, like I'm like on this schedule, like all of that is a fucking story. All of that's bullshit.
Right.
But it really is about sharing. I find that when I share my experience and don't tell people what to do, but just share with them like what supported me, like understanding that I am going to attract, like attracts like. If I don't like the men that I'm attracting, it's like I get to take responsibility for that. Like, how am I showing up in my life that I'm attracting this type of man? Because my internal, and I'm going to refer to it as like a GPS, because you were using that word earlier, is my subconscious. It doesn't care if the route is painful. It cares only if it's familiar.
Explain that, please, to these guys and the women watching this, because that's a deep one. That's a really deep one.
No. So safety for me once felt like walking on eggshells, or love meant earning affection. So I'll keep, my GPS will keep driving back to what matches that old emotional map. I'm going to skip the man who plans, who calls and follows through, right? Because my system doesn't recognize peace as passion. I crave this chemistry that's all bullshit. It's just energy. And so what I'm really chasing is certainty in this chaos. And that spark that I feel is always with emotionally unavailable men. It's not chemistry. It's my nervous system recognizing familiar danger.
Okay. From your point of view, why do women chase the guys that's physically attractive, but not the good guy?
Because
knowing what you know.
Because the good guy is fucking boring. I just had this conversation yesterday. So if you're not lit up and attracted, then that means you're not lit up and attracted by yourself. That's your responsibility. My body will look at the emotionally unavailable men and the chemistry, because I'm going to call it that chemistry, even though it's not.
Nervous system.
My body's like, oh my God, this feels like home because we've been abandoned here before.
That kind of relates. How does that work? But see, that's where it comes back to, because if you're using a dating app and it's going physical attraction looks, but you don't know he's a bad boy, but your nervous system is not aroused or enticed or the energy and stuff, then you look at him as a bad guy, but he could be the perfect guy, but you don't get to know him. That won't even work. For myself, for me, knowing my past, I always thought of myself as I was the shit because I'm the freaking prize. And that's what Now, when you're a guy, because when you look at it, to me, no, I'm not saying I'm egotistical, being stuff, but you have to have a little chip on your shoulder to think that you as the guy should be the prize. Now, is the woman the present, like wrapped up in a bow? Or how do your clients look at it?
Yes, because he
See?
brought peace and protection, right? Like there's a difference. Like, so let me tell you, my TikTok, people get so pissed off when I talk about men. I'm sorry, men get pissed. A lot of men get pissed off when I talk about women being the prize. And it's not to be demeaning towards men. A healthy man, the men that love my posts, those are healthy men. They know they're valuable. I don't need to sit and tell them that. They don't need to prove it. They like the ones that are like, I'm the prize, women aren't the prize. They usually come with some emotional bankruptcy, like an ego, like a mega ego. Yeah, this LinkedIn level of self-promotion.
Yeah, I mean, it's true though. It's true.
It's
because
crazy.
even like when some of your posts, some of the clips, the other day, I had to stick up for you on the clip and on one of the YouTube pages because they goes, here's another woman talking about the prize and all this other good stuff. But I backed you up because, like, if you looked at the full clip, she explains why you're the prize, why men are also the prize. And if you have two people that pick up themselves a prize that's okay with together and have that emotional stability,
Absolutely.
amazing things can happen. It's just not one or because you think a lot of the people see it, oh yeah, you've been told that the women is up the prize. No, but you got to think of you're just the same as a guy, if not equal or more, until you find a woman that values that and understand it, praise it, respects it, does everything for it. You have a winning combination.
Yes.
See, we don't have to debate. We agreed.
I think there is this idea now too, where it's like we've entered like this era of like alpha influencers, and it's like teaching men and women to chase power instead of purpose. And so now every guy with a 401k and a gym routine thinks that he's a high value man. Like, but what else do you have to offer? And it's the same thing with a woman gets to be confident
Same
within
thing.
herself. There's not one person doesn't get to take a back seat and be the easy way, hit the easy way out. It's like everybody has to come and accept responsibility to and contribute to the relationship, period. It's about your character. That's really what it's about.
Yeah.
And do we create safety for one another? When both of you embody your worth, then both of you win. It's really about how can we set each other up to win? I think that is an observation that it's almost like people think that we have to be in competition. I have to feel better, superior than the other. Like that doesn't work. That's a disaster.
It goes. It's a mutual respecting for your partner, for the boundaries that you have for each other, for what you contribute. Because if you look at, even for our topic, right, the internal GPS, why it points to toxic men, the issues that you might have with yourself might come out in your relationships, right? If you don't address those, like when Miss Pullaro addressed her issues in the past and focus on making it better for herself, things starting attracted a lot of different things in a way that she never even imagined, right? Because you start looking at things completely different. Same like when you buy a white car, all of a sudden you see every white car that's on the road. It's the same exact phenomenon, right? You might have a certain type until you get out of the type of even yourself, because like you said 2 weeks ago, you start dating the people what you reflect back in the mirror. So if like say, if you're saying, I hate to put labels, if you're a certain type that's maybe at this level, but you're shooting for this level on a hope that this high value person might be it, but you're low value here on yourself, how is that going to work out? It's going to be toxic again. That's why you keep attracting that same type of person.
Yeah. When both people value themselves, the entire relationship changes because nobody's chasing anything. No one's trying to prove they're better than or that they're good enough. There's not this performance because he's not trying to impress her. He's trying to understand her. She's not trying to convince him. She's embodied in her worth. She knows her value. And so they meet in the middle, but it's not from this emptiness. It's from overflow.
Because even when me and Doc just talked about this, it's finding the purpose over everything else. Because once you find purpose, everything just falls right in place because you get to love yourself. You get to get the love that you deserve. You get to have the relationship because the relationship you have with yourself exceeds and people are just a bonus to your life. when I was in the hospital bed, right? If you look at it, your alpha female mentality, believe me, when you come to prison and you've been in drugs and in game and everything else, with the alpha mentality, we all got that chip on the shoulder with that alpha mentality. You all want to be, but when you come out in the real world and you do this, you have that fighting edge, but at the same time, that alpha male is a money grab for weak people. That's what it comes down to, right? Let me ask you, does standards you put in your post, right? In 30, your thing, 31 days of learning how to. Number one, love yourself the way you've been waiting for someone else to. Please explain that.
Oh my gosh.
He did the, oh, this is when I know you're going to get a doozy, guys.
For myself, I recognize that I had these expectations of how I wanted a man to treat me, but I wouldn't even treat myself that way.
Yeah, okay.
And so that was like, that's one of the biggest things to notice is like, it's just a notice moment. Doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just, oh, I have an expectation for someone else to treat me this way. That's giving them my power, right? Because I need you to change the way I feel. I don't want to take responsibility. So the moment that I decided that I was important enough to show myself the type of love, take myself on dates, do the things that I wanted to feel beautiful. Like a man's not going to make me feel beautiful. He can do things for me that are going to make me feel like that I'm going to choose to feel like I feel beautiful. Yes, he's going to compliment them, but it's not his responsibility, right? Like he's going to add to that. But when I'm like outsourcing my emotions and my feelings to him, like that's just not fair. And that's just a recipe for disaster again, because I'm not taking responsibility for the way I'm feeling. So that means every time I feel like shit, I'm coming to you and I'm expecting you to change the way I feel. Like, and now you're responsible not only for yourself, but now you're responsible for changing the way that I feel.
That's too much. That's too much
Yeah.
for any guy. That's too much for any girl, any person you're really. If somebody else is responsible for my own emotions and I can't fix myself and I start blaming them or using them as an addict, as a crutch, it's not going to get nowhere, right? This is where, you mean now, number two, it says, how do you regulate your emotions so you stop spiraling over mixed signals? Oh, what you need to do? Oh, every time you scare me, oh.
No, just regulating my emotions. Practice the pause. Like no matter what, I practice the pause. And I realize that usually the emotion that shoots through my body immediately is more like an adrenaline kind of thing. And let me just sit with that for a minute. It's not the situation, like what is really coming up. And I get to regulate that within myself because really, so let's say the guy's giving me mixed signals, right? Like he's texting me, but he's never asking me on a date. And I know like we joked about it over the weekend. Like, so there was a particular guy that he was very religious and he was all about God's timing. He would always tell the girl in conversation about going to church, like all these things. I was laughing because I was like, what is he waiting for here? Like, doesn't God know you're starving? Take me on a date. And she's like, well, clearly God hasn't told him about open table yet. We made jokes about it and we laughed, but it really is, I want to date you, but I'm not going to date you. Like these mixed signals. Now, she could have made that mean something about her.
It's interpreted so many different ways.
It could have been, but she was just like, sat with it and was like, this is his stuff. This has nothing to do with me.
Good for her. Good.
Yeah, this is his stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, and you get to choose to be a part of it or not. Like, yeah, that's the whole thing is everything's a choice. I get to look at people's behavior and say, okay, is this what I want to sign up for? Like, I'm the one that sets the standard.
Yeah. Now, when you mean standard, do you mean rules or what you're willing to take?
What's acceptable for me?
Acceptable. Okay, I can take that. When a woman says she has standards, that can be a whole bunch of things. If you say acceptable, or you mean then it's kind of like it can be open for discussion in a way because you have to talk about boundaries, right?
So for me, like standards are kind of like boundaries, like, and it's not about like I'm not being picky or demanding or high maintenance or any of that. It's just really about my own self-respect and where I will not abandon myself for connection. So they're kind of, for me, standards are like the rules of engagement. That's how people get to access to me. They're not ultimatums. They're just kind of like energetic boundaries. That's it. If you want access to me, then you have to bring this. Like you have to bring safety. They come from, my standards come from my self-worth.
True.
standards and I accept everything, that's fear.
That's just going through the motions, basically, and figuring out, if you got hopium, it's not going to go anywhere. When your clients show you these things, what's your first reaction?
Where is it in your life that you're showing up in that energy, that same energy? So, because whatever it is, everyone in my life is a gift.
Absolutely.
If you show up in my life and I'm like, I can't fucking stand to be around you, thank you for that gift, because that means somewhere in me, someone can't stand to be around me. And where is that? Like, what am I doing? And so it's really just about taking that responsibility.
Reflection.
So I'm always like flipping it, because it's never the other person. They're just like shining a mirror. Right.
Yeah,
And so
it's
if
a
I'm
reflection.
attracting men that like show up and plan dates and like open doors for me, then hell yeah.
In a way, because you're attracting the energy, you're throwing it out there.
Right.
Okay. So now Carrie 1.0, when you do Carrie 2.0 now, right? Guys, there's Carrie 1.0 and there's Carrie 2.0. Give Carrie 1.0 energy and then debate it or use a controversial thing to Carrie 2.0. So women might be in that situation right now, or men can understand it right now that's watching this.
Yeah, okay. So the older version of me, Carrie 1.0, let's talk about her.
1.0.
She thought having standards would scare him away. Right?
Oh,
Like,
nice.
so
Okay.
I'm not going to have boundaries because it might scare him away. I'm going to text him back immediately because I don't want to seem rude. I really care about what he thinks about me. I am going to accept his minimal attention, and I'm just going to call it chemistry, right? Because when I'm around him, he is so captivating. And so I confuse anxiety with attraction.
Fair enough.
Because I'm so attached to the idea of being chosen. Because when I'm chosen, that means I did something right. Like, that means that I'm okay, that I'm normal.
But it's also an attention grab. And you're holding on to that attention grab, basically what it is.
Absolutely. I'm outsourcing my value to something else. You're right. I want the attention because the attention is the thing that makes me feel like that I'm not
But it
being
also
abandoned.
validates you in your own head.
That's why it's so challenging to get someone to see it if they're not doing the work, if they're not in the work, because it's like they think that they're so attached to that validation and they think it's everyone else's responsibility.
Okay. Now, Carrie 2.0, guys, listen. If you're a guy, you're in the dating game. If you're a woman in the dating game, this is from a coach that just had a full-blown retreat recently with other women. She's going to give you the game right now. The Riz, they call it. The Riz now.
Carrie 2.0. Like, now I know that creating standards and boundaries, like, they filter the wrong people out. They're not going to be attracted to me.
They filter themselves out.
They're not attracted to the woman that has boundaries. The type of men that Carrie 1.0 is attracting is not attracted to the Carrie 2.0.
But maybe it's just physical. Because you used to be in the life. So it's like, if it's a physical thing, now you go to 2.0, Carrie 2.0, where you have all these different attributes. What do women have to understand about those two, right?
That when I start showing up in a different energy, that I will attract a different type of man. So
Absolutely.
if
Yes.
I take my time responding to a phone call or a text message because I'm like actually building my life, and not everything is an emergency. Like, not everything is urgent. Like, just because he sends me a text message doesn't mean I have to respond right away, right? I'm not in that chasing energy. You know, I'm using discernment. I'm responding when it's appropriate for me to respond. I say no thank you to things that just aren't aligned to me. For me, being chosen isn't validation at all.
Yep.
And not anymore. It used to be.
Yeah,
It used to be. Like, but I already know, like, being chosen is what I deserve because I choose myself. So it's just when someone chooses me, it's confirmation of what I already know. And not from an arrogant space, it's from a self-worth space.
So when you start thinking it that way, where does accountability fall in place? And what can you do about it? If you was to give 3 things to a woman or a guy to understand both sides, what would be that attaches accountability? Because if you keep doing the same things, right, you're going to date the same guy. Like we said a couple of weeks ago, you'll be dating the same type of guy with a different face, different situation, same behaviors, attracting that to you. What are the steps you can take for accountability so that inconsistency that you're looking for yourself can change for the person that you attract?
The number one thing is going to be like radical self-honesty. Like your
Has to be.
accountability. Oh, it has to be.
Yeah.
Accountability is going to start when I stop sugarcoating all the bullshit patterns and I start saying, oh yeah, that was me. Like, that's totally me. I'm doing this. I'm attracting this. It's not shame. It's self-awareness. A lot of people avoid because they will shame themselves. But the moment that I stop blaming somebody else, the situation, the man, the algorithm of the dating app, and I
just a rhythm.
and I accept responsibility, then it's like, okay, I get my power back. Like I'm owning my truth.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. What happens when you stop chasing potential, but start attracting the right presence?
When I stop chasing potential,
Because that potential, chasing potential can just mess up your whole life because it's a dream. It's not even, you start chasing potential. It doesn't work versus having presence matched up with everything that you talked about before. The accountability, self-love, the energy, choosing yourself, all that stuff moves into that direction. Please explain to the viewers.
so when I'm finally attracting someone who is present, for me, that lands in a way that I'm becoming present. I'm no longer pulling in men who are inconsistent or half in or distracted. So the energy is not going to be there. What I mean by the anxiety that I claim is chemistry isn't necessarily going to be there. It might be in the beginning because it's kind of new and you get that little bit of, but over time it's going to kind of go away. And so that's where I'm going to find this space of boring. When he says to me, hey, maybe you get to go when I get upset, maybe you go process your emotions and handle them and then come back and we'll have a conversation. For me, I'm like, you're not going to fight for me? That's Carrie 1.0.
That's the old you. When you're going through this, you got to understand this is what you have to change.
Yeah.
Do you see it in most clients of yours in younger women or emotionally stubborn?
All ages. All ages. I mean, and I'm guilty for falling into that as well sometimes.
I mean, yeah, it happens.
Yeah, it happens. And I think a lot of it too is the concept of the biggest shift or the biggest obstacle is taking responsibility for every single thing, knowing that it's a reflection of you. And I think that's a difficult thing for people to wrap their head around. But if I can just trust myself that I am co-creating every experience in my life. And so by me showing up a different way is going to create a different experience. When that landed for me, I was just like, oh my God.
Ooh.
I can always create what I want. Am I committed to it or not?
Yes.
That's the real question. Are you committed to creating something sustainable?
Absolutely. Now I'm going to put you on the spot. So Miss Carrie, if you're not following Miss Carrie on social media, please do, Miss Carrie Pullaro, because I'm going to run down. She gave names to 8 type of men.
This is such a fun post.
Because please go up, reach out. Her last name is Pullaro, Pullaro, my friend, my corporate. But we're going to go over these 8 men. If you're one of these 8 men, and if you're a woman in these dating apps and you're being the recipient of these men, think about it and reach out to her. Here we go. You have text thread Tim. You're low pen pal since 2023. He's allergic to calendars and thinks connection happens to 87. How is your day text? Please explain this. Because this is like a novel. Women, if you have a text like this guy, or if you're a man doing this, please listen up.
This guy is just all about just keeping me in conversation. It's kind of like giving me breadcrumbs, right? And also, it's kind of like, well, if you're having conversations with me, but not trying to meet people, like what's really behind all of that? And how many other people are you messaging? Because there is no commitment level there of he never takes the initiative. So if he's never taking the initiative to book a date, right? Like, what is that? Is that an attribute that I want? Do I want someone in my space that I have to guide and how to be a man? Like, I'm not here to teach you how to be a man, and I'm not here to teach you how to take me on a date. I mean, is that what I want? And I think it's just really getting honest with when I create them, when I write them in a way that seems so damn ridiculous, that's when people can see it.
Yeah.
But when you're in it and you're like, oh my God, this guy is just always texting me and he's very good looking and it seems like we have a lot in common, but he never takes me out on a date. You may not see what I see.
Yeah, because but you're telling me from a different angle. Plus, she's in it, but that's the interpretation of it, right?
Yeah.
Because the interpretation of the perception, that's where the perception is like, if you're this dude, this is what women are thinking.
Oh my God.
Steve. No. Selfie, she put his shirt missing since 2019. His ab, question mark, front and center in every photo. If you want emotional depth, you have to scroll past his flexing or emotes. Basically, dating himself. You get to watch interpretation or translation.
Oh my God. I've dated so many selfie Steves where I'm like,
Selfie Steve's okay.
I don't want to fight with you for mirror time. He's the guy that thinks he's the prize. I'm just in his world, right? Like he's in the relationship with himself and I just get to,
You're just there.
I'm just there. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, I've done that. Like he's like, has the emotional depth of a puddle. Like, no, that's not for me.
Is this the usually good looking type that everybody wants to get to? You just want to be attached to him just to see as a trophy?
It could.
I'm asking you, you're a woman. That's what I'm asking you.
I think for some women, yes, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm with this guy and he's so attractive. But at the same time, it's just like, what's the value here? Yes. Do I admire the fact that this person takes really good care of themselves? That's a huge attribute. Absolutely. There's good and bad with everything. And then, yes, like I said, I was just poking fun at it. But when that is more important than anything else, then it kind of reminds me of the Jersey Shore guys. Do you remember that show?
Oh, yeah.
Like, come on. All they cared about was like,
We're going to go with number 3 before we end this show. He's not dating, he's casting. You show for one thing and suddenly you're his co-star in The Notebook 2 ghosted again. Translation.
oh my gosh. So Fantasyland Fred, yes, he is this. He's a guy that is so he's like a first date daydreamer, right? Like, and I don't want to call him like a narcissist, but he's gonna like love bomb you.
Okay.
He is gonna start talking about your future, and he kind of mirrors this idea that because why are we here? We're here because we want to connection, we want to create a relationship, right? So he kind of mirrors this desire that we have, or this idea of the Disney prince who's going to come and rescue us, right? Like, and everything moves so fast, and he wants you to feel like, you know, you're the one, and just totally love bombs you, but then he goes to you, right? He like, boom, gone. And he's not actually in love with you, and he's not, I don't truly believe that this man might be looking for connection. I think he's in love with the idea of love.
Oh, yeah. That makes some sense. We had too much fun. This is what happens when we
Oh
don't
my
see each other
God.
for 2 weeks.
No,
Guys, if you like this episode, please hit the like button. Go on our YouTube, look for the playlist. Her playlist is Talks with Carrie as Worthy AF, right? Go to YouTube, Boundaries and Brotherhood. I'm Gordon Wat. And please leave a comment. Please like, subscribe. You're going to see a lot of posts on Reddit. We just have a community right now. We also are in school. You're going to see courses start coming out for the new year. Carrie's course, my course. We're going to have a lot of different things going on because this way we can help you in the dating scene, gain confidence, be a better person every single day. Learn AI tools. Carrie, close out the show, please.
oh my goodness. If you don't take anything from this show, just take this. Relationships are built in consistency and safety and showing up after all of the butterflies and all the energy fades.
That's
what
real.
true relationships are.
All right, guys. This is Gordon Wat from Boundaries and Brotherhood.
And Carrie
We will
Pullaro.
see- reach out. Let's work out.
I'm like,
All right. We'll see you guys there.
As always, thanks for watching, and be sure to watch some of the other topics on the playlist. Again, please share with someone you know that might benefit from our topics.